Alrighty, we're going to connect some lights that we're not hooked up yet, and we're going to use some MC cable, and we're going to run it from a box we have power in. So we'll take our MC cable cutter here, loosen this up, flip it up into the top, like that here. We'll get our cable into here, we'll tighten this. So that this piece here is pointing down. So now we'll just turn it until we feel it turning freely. See, it turns freely. Loosen this up. Take our cable off. Then I'll cut our little bit of a sharp edge off here so it doesn't get punctured into our wire. And we'll take an anti-short bushing. We'll push it down in here. Push it down in so it's flush like that there. We'll cut our buoy off here, like this. And we'll take this piece here, it's our MC cable connector. And we'll just push it in. You'll hear our little Barbies clip in there. Hear it clip. So now we're ready to hook into the outlet where we are going to have power. Ooh, this is live, so I have to go shut this breaker off. And it is off, but I think this is on the other circuit, so. There, it was on the other circuit, it's not on the one I thought it was on. So let's pull this out here. And we'll open up our knockout here. And we'll bring our wires into our box. And you know, this just snaps in, so you hear the two little Barbies snapping into place there. Okay, we're going to drill a hole. Okay, so we're going to go, there's pipes in here, so I'm going to go right behind the pipe. So I'm going to drill it about right. So this is where the top is. We're going to go about right here. Piece of hardwood in there, so there's it going. Well, you know what? If you can't, she can't. When you can't do something, you just can't do it, that's all. We'll try one more time. We're going to give up because I'm hitting a piece. I'll try one more time. If it goes through, it goes through. Well, it looks like I'm almost through. So now we'll go over to the other side and drill through. And hopefully we can meet up with this hole. So what we're trying to do is get power over to these lights that were hold right here. So we're going to drill in right here. Bit's going dull. So we're going to try a spade bit. So now we'll take a piece of wire and we'll try to snake it through there, hole to hole. And we'll put our MC cable through with it. Oh, there's something solid in the middle, so if something's not going to go, you know what? It's not going to go. I'll try one more. And if it doesn't go, I give up. Just go over the top. That one did go through. Let's see if we can find our hole. Hey, we came through, so we're going to bend this over. Make a nice loop so it doesn't come back. Tape this piece of wire onto here so you can pull it up through. Hopefully it'll come out on the other end. It's almost through. It almost doesn't finish. But it is almost through. But almost only counts in horseshoes. So we have to pull that out. I'm going to drill it a little bigger. And we have to play with it. That's all. We don't get upset. We don't get frustrated. We don't carry on. It's not going to help anything. So just drill our hole bigger. There we go. And we'll try it again. got it through. All right, we got it through. Okay, so we got our cable all fastened down. Okay, so we'll cut a cable where we're going to cut it. I'll hold it right here. Okay, so we'll get our cutter ready again. We'll put it in here. In here like this. Push this so it's sitting in there like this. Okay, it's sitting in there like this. So we feel it turning freely. There we go, it's turning freely. We'll loosen this nut. Take our armored jacket off there. We'll cut off our sharp edge here so we don't damage our wire. We'll put an anti-short bushing in here. Push it down in. So it's down in there nice and flush like that there. And we'll put our push-on connector on. Okay, so we'll just push it together. Hear the little Barbies click inside there. Here in the country I was born in, black is live, white is neutral, the green is the ground. Red and blue are also live colors. However, you may find white live in a switch loop on a 110-120 volt circuit or on a 220-240 volt circuit where the appliance does not require a neutral. Okay, so we're going to open up our knockouts. We're going to use 3 of them. Snap our little Barbies, snap inside the box there. Couldn't find a piece of green wire to use for a tail, so I'm going to just strip a black wire I have left over here. Make our loop the direction our screw is going to turn. And let's hope we have a ground screw. But if we don't, we don't. And if we don't, we're not getting upset. But fortunately I have one. Put the wire around the screw, the direction the screw turns there. We'll close it that is backwards, so I'll show you, because when you tighten that, see how when you tighten that it will open the loop, so you put it around the screw the direction the screw turns. So I'll just flip this around. Now see how that will tighten the loop when you close the screw. Tightening the screw will close the loop. go. See how it's hugging the screw head all the way around and it's under all the way? So we're going to use some plastic pop-in romex connectors. These are nice and easy to work with. There's one. Here's our other one. Okay, now we can put our romex wires into our box. And we make sure we get our jacket into the box like this here. Make sure we get our jacket in here. Okay, we got our jacket in. We had to force it some, but we got it in. So we'll get our white wires down, get our conductors out of the way here. So now we can get we have 4 ground wires we gotta get together here. We'll cut all our wires through the same length. And we'll strip our green wire. So we're going to use this 4-port Wago here. We'll do one on the top. Make sure our copper comes up to the top on all 4 of them there. You can see how all 4 wires are coming up to the top there. And now we can push this down into our box. Now we have our 3 white wires. And we'll take off about a 1/2 inch on each wire here. Okay, so we make sure our wires are all nice and straight. And we have another Wago here with 4 ports in it. It's either made by Wago or Ideal. They work the same way. Just gonna make sure our insulation. I feel the barb there, and I see the copper. Push it. See the copper come up to the top. See the copper come up to the top. And see how you see all the copper up at the top here, and our white insulation is down under this black yellow. That's what you want. Now we'll just fold it down into our box here. Now we'll get our black wires ready to go here. Take off about a 1/2 inch off of each wire here. This This one's a little crooked, so I'm just going to straighten it, make sure our wire's nice and straight so we get a good connection when we push our Wago onto it. Make sure we have a good length here so we get our copper up to the top and our insulation into the bottom here. So we'll go 1, see the copper up at the top. There's 2 with the copper up at the top. And there's 3, all of our copper is up at the top, and see our insulation is all up into the green here. So now we can fold this down into our box. Make sure our cover screws aren't going to hit anything. Now this box is not concealed up here because it's going to be covered. We'll just put a piece of plywood up here, and we'll just put like 2 screws in it, so it's an access panel. And we'll have to put a cover on this too. So we'll set this in here. And our cable will be down out of the way here. So I'll just fit right down in here nicely. There it is. And we'll put our cover on that afterwards because we don't have one right now. And then we'll put a piece of plywood across the top, mounted with just a couple screws, and we'll just mark access panel. Okay, so now we'll hook up into our power supply. So we have a 4-port Wago here for our ground wire. So we'll get our ground wire, and we have it bonded to the box. Let's verify that it's off. Off about a 1/2 inch here, like that. And we'll get it into our Wago here. You want to make sure these wires are straight when you insert them. And make sure our copper is coming up to the top there the way we want it. So now we'll put our wires through we'll take this outlet off, unscrew our outlet from here. Through and bring our other black and white through here. Make sure it's tight. Okay, so we have our black and our white, so we'll bring our white over here. Here in the country I was born in, our outlets are polarized. The black wire goes on the brass screw, the white wire goes on the silver colored screw. The silver colored screw is on the same side as the green screw, and it's the wider slot. And the black wire goes on this brass colored screw, which goes to the narrow slot. So you always make your loop. I'm going to take a smidgen more off of this, because it didn't grab it all there. Here we go. Make sure you get your copper under the screw head all the way around. And I'll tighten it with my flathead because the Phillips hops on that screw. So it's nice and snug like that. And we'll bring it over here and we'll get our black wire up here on our brass colored screw. Take off about an inch here. Close the loop, the direction our screw turns here. Make sure it's nice and tight, make sure our copper's under the screw head all the way and our insulation is not pinched, so that's what we want. So now we can push our wires back into our box here. Make sure nothing gets pinched. Make sure our screws aren't going to hit the wires. I'll tighten it by hand so we don't strip our screws out. I'll center our device on the bracket there. Make sure it's tight. We'll center this one. And I'll get my flashlight and just look. Make sure our screws aren't hitting any wires. And nothing's pushing against any sharp edges, so we are all set. Okay, I can't find my polarity tester, but you know what? You just don't let things like that bother you. You can't get upset over stuff. So I'll just check it an alternative way. I'll put one on the ground and one on the narrow slot. And it lights up on the narrow slot. So we don't let losing stuff bother me. You just don't. So it's nice to see that the outlets are made here in the country I was born in. That's a joy to see, isn't it? And also, we bought some electrical tape, and it's nice to see that's made here in the country I was born in. Peace. Thanks for watching.